Hello everyone and welcome. So today I will be helping you with basic binomials. So binomials are an expression with two terms, hence the name binomials. So these terms can be anything. So they can be variables by themselves, such as x squared or like x or things like that, y, and pretty much any other variable. And or they can also be numbers, such as 3, 8, and so on. Or they can also be a cross between those, so basically variables with coefficients, so stuff like 4x, 15y, and so on. And binomials pretty much can be any kind of term, except binomials, they have two terms only, and that is a rule that must be followed. So here, let me. Okay, so on binomials we can. Alright, so for example, if we were to ask to solve binomials, so binomials are pretty much, in order to solve them, we pretty much have to have two numbers, not variables, or else we can't solve them unless it's an equation as well. But for example, if you had 8 and 7, we can just use simple arithmetic and solve that out. And so binomials can only have two terms, so they cannot have any more than two. But there are some things called polynomials, which will be discussed later on. So those can have more than one. Terms. Well, more than two terms. But binomials can only have two. So if you wanted to simplify binomials, such as x plus 3x, if you wanted to simplify this, you would just have to either simplify to one or more terms. So this can be 4x, so this is only one term. So this would classify as a polynomial, since it's not two. But binomials also classifies polynomials. So those are polynomials. So all the things I see here are also polynomials, but today we'll be discussing binomials only. So if we wanted to solve more polynomials, such as simple addition ones, or subtraction ones, or even multiplication and division ones, so we could do those as well. But those are pretty much just basic arithmetic things. So there's not very much need for discussing those, since you can just use your skills in arithmetic to solve those. So just keep in mind that binomials are only two terms, and pretty much that's all you have to do with binomials. So let's try some problems regarding that. So the first one is asking, is x squared plus x plus 1 a binomial? So this one has 1, 2, 3 terms. So since it has 3 terms, we cannot classify that as a binomial. So that means the answer here would be a no. Alright, so let's do the second one, which asks, is 3x squared minus 8 a binomial? So here we can count up the terms, and there are 3 terms here. So 2 terms here. So that means that this one would count as a binomial, since binomials only have 2 terms. So this one would be a yes. Alright, so let's do the next one, which asks to solve 18 minus 4, which is the binomial. But this one is pretty simple to solve. This one would just be 14. You can just use your arithmetic skills to solve this. There is no real algebra steps needed here. But sometimes they would have x plus 3x. So this is algebra, since it has variables. So this one would just equal 4x. So that would just be solving. But in this case, if we wanted a booster place, like booster. So if we wanted a booster question, we have 18x plus 4x. So we would want to solve this one, and that one is algebraic. So we would just have 18x plus 4x, which 18 plus 4 equals 22. So we could just have 22x. But say instead of the plus it was a minus, then we would have to do it the same way as this. 18 minus 4 equals 14, and we will have to add x at the end. So how would you prove that this is right? So we can take out the x's here and do 18 minus 4. 18 minus 4 equals 14. Then we have x times that, so that's just 14x. Alright, so let's do the fourth one. So this one asks to solve the binomial 14 plus 8. So 14 plus 8, we can just use arithmetic to solve that, so that's just 22. And this problem is, we can add another booster, which is sort of like this here. So except instead it's 14x plus 8x instead of 18x plus 4x. But nevertheless, these two would still get the same answer of 22x. Alright, so let's move on to the fifth one, which asks, is 8 a binomial? So 8, we would just have one term, and binomials all have two terms. So that means that since 8 only has one term, it would not classify as a binomial. Alright, so let's try the very last one, which asks, is 4x squared, well 14x squared plus 2x a binomial? So this only has two terms, so that means we could, we would have a binomial here, since binomials only have two terms as well. So this will be a yes. 14x squared plus 2x is indeed a binomial. And that would also end our lesson for today. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Thank you. And also, if you have any questions, feel free to post those into the comment section. Thank you.